Hello and welcome to the Coca-Cola show, in which we look to invest in the best advertisement out there. In our eyes, the best advertisement should be one that addresses all our values, aligns with our vision, and promotes our mission. To maximize the effect of the advertisement, it should also cater towards people of all ethnicities, genders, and ages, the complete audience. We look for an ad that embodies our mission, how Coca-Cola refreshes the world in mind, body, and spirit, how Coca-Cola inspires moments of optimism and happiness through our brands and actions, and lastly, how Coca-Cola creates values and makes a difference. Some ways that our mission can be portrayed is through our 6 Ps: people, portfolio, partners, planet, profit, and lastly, productivity. We hold our values at the core of Coca-Cola: leadership, integrity, collaboration, accountability, passion, diversity, and lastly, quality. What we do it well. Without further ado, welcome to Coca-Cola's Got Talent.
Today, we have 3 contestants that have designed and produced an advertisement according to our asks. All 3 are going to reveal their advertisements, explain their strategy, and how the ad aligns with our company, and provide an explanation or justification of the stylistic and creative choices that they have made.
Based on quality and meaning, at the end of our episode today, we will give a verdict of which advertisement we deem the best, which will then subsequently be released worldwide as part of our new advertising campaign.
Our first contestant is Baljeet, presenting The Wonder of Us.
Today, I am proud to present you my advertisement that I called The Wonder of Us. It's an ad that epitomizes the things that make us unique, whilst reiterating that we can all unite in our differences through grabbing the perfect Coke for us. My commercial celebrates your long-held values for optimism, diversity, and inclusion by reminding viewers that there is a Coke for everyone on every occasion. Whether that be a mini can of Coca-Cola Zero, an 8-ounce glass bottle of Coca-Cola, or even a 12-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola Life. Now, as I'm sure you recognize, this ad unequivocally continues to amplify your corporate values of diversity and passion. One thing that our team focus on is the prevalence of values-based consumerism, aiming to have the commercial resonate with the beliefs and ethics of your consumers. In order to achieve this, we had to ask ourselves about the emotional and psychological needs of your consumers. Given the rise of the LGBTQ movement, celebrating the unique attributes of humanity and gender identities are as important as ever. In the advertisement, we hope to tap into the individual values of the entire target market: lesbian couples, non-binary people, people of different races and religions, women, men, a person who uses the they pronoun. In doing so, not only are we suggesting that the individual values, traditions, religions, and upbringing of our audience is intrinsically meaningful and compelling, but we are also fulfilling Coca-Cola's mission to refresh the world in mind, body, and spirit. In addition to literally hiring a diverse range of actors and actresses into the ad, the sheer variety of voices of different accents and age groups tie together the powerful spoken word poem to show that Coca-Cola is living their beliefs. This gives the opportunity for all members of your universal target audience to feel a personal connection to one of the voices in the ad, allowing them to feel valued as part of the diversity that Coca-Cola cherishes.
Very interesting advertisement with a whole range of features, but before you go into the specifics, can you address some of the overarching strategies that you devised?
Yeah, well, firstly, the underlying strategy employed in the advertisement builds upon that one brand advertising that Coca-Cola has recently been employing. What this means is that Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola Zero, and Coca-Cola Life will be united under a single visual identity or ad campaign. This approach underscores your commitment to offer consumer choice with more clarity, as well as increasing the presence of low and no sugar versions of Coca-Cola as great tasting choices as well. I aim to show that we value the diverse preferences of our target audience.
Alright, enough talking about your ad and introduction. I think we got the gist of it. Can you go more into the general techniques that you used and what effects you think they have?
First off, the use of plain folks is quite vital to our campaign. People of all races, ages, and genders are engaged in an assortment of lively, carefree activities, many of which involve bottles and cans of Coke. Memorable shots include kids playing spin the bottle, 2 cowpokes gazing up at the stars.
Wait, but many of our ads have celebrities like Selena Gomez, Taylor Swift, or Leo Messi. Why none in this ad?
Well, although we understand the merit of celebrity endorsement in garnering attention, we thought that it would be a huge distraction from your core values. By incorporating activities that embody the happiness and enthusiasm humanity faces when pursuing their passions or appreciating the world around them, we can establish an impassioned and joyful tone. This directly addresses Coca-Cola's values of passion, showing a diverse array of people being committed in heart and mind.
Okay, it seems like you've made a pretty solid case with truly showing diversity. I especially like the touch with the voices, by the way.
I agree. I just want to hear more about how all of this links to the slogans you added towards the end.
It builds on other statements in the ad, such as, "There's a different Coke for all of us." Essentially, we are emphasizing customization. So whether it be a traditional Coke in a glass bottle or a nice cold Coke Life, there's a refreshing way to enjoy yours. The final slogan, "Taste the Feeling," uses synesthesia, as it suggests that pure emotion is something that can be ingested, ultimately alluding to the fact that Coca-Cola's values is at the heart of their beverages. The slogan also underscores the one brand strategy I previously touched upon, highlighting your commitment to offering consumers choice in whichever Coca-Cola suits their taste.
I found the spoken word to be perhaps the most impactful aspect of this ad. Can I hear more about the development of this and your linguistic choices throughout the process?
There were a lot of linguistic techniques used throughout the ad. To meticulously dissect this, let's have another closer look at the advertisement.
Firstly, the ad begins with the phrase, "There's a Coke for he and she and her and me and them." The use of polysyndeton slows down the rhythm and therefore emphasizes each pronoun stated. The repeated use of conjunctions suggests the endless range of people that can consume Coke. Here and throughout the ad, we are employing synthetic personalization by addressing mass audiences as though they were individuals through this inclusive language. This allows us to personalize the product to a wide array of consumers while celebrating the diversity of our audience. One notable mention is our decision to use the singular gender-neutral pronoun them, accompanied by the image of a non-binary person wearing a rainbow lanyard. In doing so, we are trying to show an awareness for the divisive issue of equality in our world's current political climate, allowing your company to portray inclusivity and have democratic appeal. As shown on the screen, an afro is also utilized in the ad with the intention of achieving a similar effect. By repeating the word no, we aim to explicitly portray that no two people can have the same experiences, and that everyone embarks on their own journey. These same values are embedded into every section of the ad. For instance, the alliteration shown on the screen goes to show that we are focusing on many of your core values beyond diversity. We are portraying passion, the idea that everyone is unique in their individual opinions, hobbies, paths, or even integrity, by insinuating that we should all stay true to who we are. Moreover, the phrase "no head has held your dream" is metaphorical, referring to your value of individualistic thinking and diversity of thought. This therefore aligns with your mission to refresh the world in mind by empowering people to think different and to be creative. To stay true to our values, we try to adopt an optimistic tone. One way this was done is through rhyme. The rhyme "same" and "mundane" is catchy and playful. It adds consistency to your assertions about diversity while approaching it in a more lively and optimistic tone. In the following phrase, "That's why there is just one me and a billion unique yous," we try to encapsulate the overarching theme of our video by using the editing technique of zooming. The scene begins with hundreds of people across the beach and then zooms into a specific couple. This elucidates Coca-Cola's ability to appeal to the wide masses while also appreciating each individual as a valuable consumer. Throughout all the values we are communicating though, the placement of our Coca-Cola cans and bottles are emphasized throughout the advertisement. If we apply the rule of thirds to many scenes, a can of Coke is often placed as the main subject, and this allows the ad to successfully incorporate your key values whilst constantly keeping Coca-Cola's products as the focus. This, we believe, enables us to truly achieve our goal to make the experience of drinking your carbonated drinks seem nearly synonymous with the fact of being human.
Next, Xiao presents Reasons to Believe.
Hi investors, I am here today to present the advertisement that I produced called Reasons to Believe. Despite ongoing political unrest, economic uncertainty, natural disasters, conflicts, and shootings, this commercial celebrates the notion that the good in our world far outweigh the bad. People need to know that things will get better. And I believe Coca-Cola is a brand that can provide this kind of reassurance, given the values that the company embraces. This commercial builds on the mission statement to inspire moments of optimism and happiness through our brands and action. Negative statistics side by side with positive statistics. This changes people's perspectives entirely on news of negative nature.
A very interesting idea that you've gone with here. Could you tell us some of your underlying strategies and aims?
That's a good question. The main strategy that I employed is simply embracing the reality that we live in today. People around the world are going through tough times and are only exposed to bad news. It's a vicious cycle. BBC Psychology has recently released a study showing that our headlines are dominated by bad news, while news of good nature have taken a back seat. I want to address the negativity bias that people have. We are psychologically more drawn to things of negative nature, and that's taken a toll on people's morale. No other company has attempted to address this obscure issue. This commercial urges the audience to be optimistic and look at the brighter side of life, reassures the audience that everything will get better. We are also adopting a values-based consumerism marketing approach by demonstrating Coca-Cola's value of optimism and refreshing the mind. People will want to consume based on these values, not the product. I also want people to move away from associating Coca-Cola with negativity, such as health issues, and start associating Coca-Cola with optimism and community.
How do you think this appeals to our target market or audience?
Well, with the advent of technology and social media, people are increasingly exposed to news and current events, whether that be through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. Nowadays, everyone goes on social media and read the news often as ever. This commercial provides the opportunity to expose people with good news for a change, and for people to start associating Coca-Cola with positivity and community. This commercial will launch the all-new Reasons to Believe campaign and will hopefully address the problem of negativity that we have in our society and inspire optimism. This commercial also has the opportunity and the potential to be translated seamlessly into different markets as we lean into the universality of the statistics that we include, such as tanks, which are symbolic of war in every culture. I want Coca-Cola to be the brand that helps consumers find the silver lining in negative news or in times of misfortune. This commercial is to an extent disguised as a PSA or an infographic that aims to raise awareness on the issues of negativity bias that we have in the media. This advertisement takes back to the heartland of what the Coca-Cola brand has always stood for, talking to people on an emotional level about topics that are relevant to them, and spreading happiness and optimism. Coca-Cola as a brand has never been afraid to speak its mind and has an authentic cultural depth across the world. Everyone in some way has a nostalgic connection with the brand, evoking happy memories when they see the statistic of people drinking Coke.
This ad can, to an extent, seem superficial with merely statistics as the basis of your advertisement. Are there any techniques or devices that you want to point out or address?
That's a good question. Well, statistics are simply vehicles that carry the idea of good and bad. Upon closer inspection, there is heavy employment of symbolism within each statistic, and each statistic is symbolic of a notion that parallels or connotes good or bad, which links back to my advertisement's purpose of reassuring people that the good in the world far outweigh that of the bad. For example, in the statistics of the production rate of tanks in comparison to stuffed dolls, symbolism is employed.
Tanks symbolize war and conflict, connoting the notion of bad,
while stuffed dolls symbolize a desire to return to the innocence or simplicity of childhood, connoting the notion of good. The main rationale for this use of symbolism is to provide tangible representations of the rather abstract notions of good and bad, since they are really impossible to quantify with pure statistics. And despite the logical fallacy in these statistics, which don't actually prove that good in the world actually outweigh the bad, these symbols still serve to appeal to the emotional side rather than the logical side. The desired effect is to reassure people as well as persuade people to associate Coca-Cola with positivity, good news, and other events of good nature through eliciting feelings of happiness, hope, and optimism. A more subtle aspect of my commercial is the music, which also employs language devices, more specifically metaphors, in order to serve the purpose of reassuring people that the good in the world far outweigh the bad. The lyrics, "You only see what people want you to see," is a metaphor for the relationship between media and people and addresses the fact that nowadays, people are only exposed to headlines of bad nature. The word people is a metaphor for media, only wanting us to see the tragic events that happen in the world, while obscuring events that are of good nature, which links back to the real-world example that this ad is rooted in, which is that bad news is dominating headlines. However, the word only indicates and reassures people that there are more things to see than bad news, which again links to my purpose of good outweighing bad. The desired effect is to make audiences believe that Coca-Cola is a brand that can provide people with the lens to see the bigger picture and to provide people with the reassurance that they need during these tough times. Lastly, one of the most prominent devices used in my advertisement is antithesis. By pairing contrasting or antithetical statistics against one another, we achieve the effect of highlighting our argument and the idea that we're advocating for. If the statistics that connote good are placed after those that connote the bad, the contrast would be starker and hold more weight than if we only showed good statistics alone. Also, by doing so, people naturally view these negative statistics in a more positive light and helps to amplify the positivity of the other statistics, and people will inherently feel more assured. This again serves the purpose of reassuring people and demonstrating our values of optimism and hope. All these language devices work in tandem to serve the purpose of reassuring people and persuading and instilling the idea in people that Coca-Cola is a brand that is capable of providing people with optimism and hope. These language devices also work as they amplify the direction that the commercial has already taken, which is for it to be deep-rooted in a relevant issue that people face today, which is the media negativity bias that is pervasive in our society. We also employ advertising techniques to really drive these ideas home. For example, we use transfer to try to associate feelings of positivity and optimism to Coca-Cola's products and itself as a brand. Following the format of placing the negative statistics first and positive statistics second, in the last part of the ad we have the statistics: while one weapon is sold, 20,000 people share a Coke, subtly constituting the act of people drinking Coke as a positive phenomenon that is occurring in the world, and one that is able to offset or at least reassure people of the fact that weapons are being sold at such an alarming rate. This helps to transfer feelings of hope and positivity to the act of drinking your products, further promoting your mission. We also use color as an advertising technique. When we think of Coca-Cola, the first color that comes to mind is red. We wanted to associate the color red with positivity, as well as in our video. This is evident in many frames of the ad, such as this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one.
Last, Craig reveals his savvy drinkable ad.
Your products, traditional Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, Fanta, Powerade, you name it, they all sell well. Advertising your brand will continue to promote these products. But what about other specific products like Coke Zero that are performing worse? Coke Zero is marketed as a zero-calorie, zero-sugar drink with the same taste as regular Coke. Yet, we have found that many people have preconceived notions of Coke Zero and assume they won't like it before even taking a sip of it. An idea working across experiential, digital, social, public relations, and broadcast channels create an intimate trial experience at a mass scale. We can no longer rely on broadcast to change perceptions. We need to use multi-channel efforts to change behavior. We need guerrilla marketing.
Guerrilla marketing in itself is unconventional and can be very unpredictable. What was the underlying strategy of your ad?
We were thinking of how to create a type of communicational advertising that would literally let people experience the product. And that's where the idea of a drinkable billboard came in. It started with one idea where we thought, how great would it be if we could have a physical billboard that people could literally drink from? It's the most direct and instant experience of a product you can have. We then partnered with Shazam. By Shazamming the ad through the radio, TV, cinema, and concerts, viewers see Coke Zero pouring to the screens of their smartphones, filling a glass, which qualifies as an actual free Coke Zero coupon that can be redeemed in retail stores across the US. People think they know what Coke Zero tastes like and what it's all about, but they really don't. Every piece of content that we developed was designed to put a Coke Zero into people's hands.
Your drinkable ad definitely intends to span the country. Is there a definite target audience that you can identify?
With our current generation of millennials, we must think of content differently and really use technology to get them to sample our product. We incorporated the technologies, environment, as well as the culture of millennials and tailored our advertisement to fit their needs. While appreciating the embracement of sports and music by the millennials and young adults, we partnered with ESPN, College Game Day, and Shazam. We observed that young adults quickly embraced technology in their daily activities, and we also noted that there was a quick uptake of smartphones by the general population, which would enable most individuals to use Shazam. 80% of millennials say they have not tried Coke Zero, but 60% of people go on to repurchase it once they have had a taste of it. What I'm saying? We just want to get cans in hands, and technology is the way to go.
Your advertisement seems very unconventional. Can you explain how it still aligns to Coca-Cola's vision in any possible way?
Our advertisement facilitates the development of partnerships and productivity suitable for our technology-intensive generation. We have nurtured a winning partnership and built mutual loyalty with Shazam. Millennials' familiarity and affinity with Shazam will spill over onto Coca-Cola, allowing your consumer base to expand. Nowadays, direct marketing or sales promotion of the Coke Zero is time-consuming and niche because it is unable to reach large audiences. By developing an entirely new way of using audio recognition technology, you will allow customers to access Coke Zero anywhere in the most convenient and familiar way possible, with a few taps of their phone screens. Super productive. In terms of planet, although the ad doesn't directly indicate corporate social responsibility, Coke Zero itself illustrates Coca-Cola's interest in the welfare of consumers. Given that the excessive use of sugar has been a health concern, especially in the current wave of lifestyle diseases such as diabetes and obesity, Coca-Cola developed Coke Zero to curb this problem amongst its consumers. Coke Zero is sugar-free but still tastes like ordinary Coke soda, which uses sugar. Nonetheless, the ad will boost profits and returns to shareholders. Increasing Coke Zero's meager popularity in relation to your other drinks will give Coca-Cola an additional source of revenue. It will increase market penetration of Coke Zero and therefore accelerate growth.
The narration often feels simply redundant. What is the point of this? How do you think it's useful?
We combine repetition with something known as the power of threes. Both of them work in tandem with one another to really reinforce the quality of Coke Zero and the extent of our project. We start by saying ads can look delicious, sound delicious, and taste delicious. Not only will you understand that Coke Zero can appear enticing in several ways, but you will also catch viewers off guard in what they believe is a cliché statement. They wonder how an ad can have a taste, which really elicits excitement and curiosity for the remainder of the ad. Later on, we repeat the word to, from ads that became cups to flyers that became straws to tweets to drinkable straws. This substantiates the vast ways in which people can obtain coupons and highlights the extent of your initiative. People could access your drinkable ad whether they're at home, at a concert, or amongst 80,000 people at the NCAA final game. In this triplet, we depict a progression of specificity and scale. People are alone at home while they are with 80,000 people at an NCAA final. A home can be anywhere, but an NCAA final is a specific event. This elucidates the scope of the drinkable ad and that is available in every possible setting. Whether people are on the couch or at a prestigious event, Coke Zero is there for you.
Our other ads use more figurative diction. What's the idea behind your narration?
The narration somewhat serves as a guide to how we developed our idea and a tutorial about how our product functions. The explanation is sequential from the first to the last step of our process. Showing the development of our idea will signify Coca-Cola's creativity and effort in revolutionizing the way ads can work. Nonetheless, the straightforward and step-by-step narration makes our ad and the process that our viewers must undertake thoroughly easy to understand. We sign off with a call to action. Next time you're thirsty, drink an ad, which sounds bizarre enough to galvanize our audience to take part in our initiative.
Do you have any last images you want to point out?
A cup filled with ice or a straw doesn't really belong on a phone screen and is not what smartphones are used for. We aim for viewers to sense this incongruity so that they instantly take notice of what these figures actually stand for. Real Coke Zeros. Secondly, our billboard contains Coke pumping through tubes, which embodies a process of blood being flushed through medical tubes. A rush of blood, or Coke Zero, indicates a sudden feeling of excitement, which inspires energy and liveliness in our viewers' attitudes towards our project, exactly how you should feel.
Come on and let me up, it's a brand new day. Open up a little happiness today. So